Good evening, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner. How are you guys this evening? I know this is kind of an impromptu thing. I just suddenly decided to get on the air and started talking to you guys. I'm sure at least one or more of you are going to be watching me in a few minutes, so just hang on just a second. Let me see about getting some people in here. Hang on just a second here. Just want to let some people know that I'm actually here. I see I've got one person right now, which is fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. Let me go ahead and notify the rest of them. All right, let's see. Okay. And we'll go ahead and get Crazy Josh Crazy. Now, I know when you guys see this live stream later on, the thumbnail is not all that good. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. This is kind of an impromptu thing. I wasn't really planning to do this tonight, but I just decided to go ahead and do this. I'll explain later. Just hang on. Okay, and then... Okay. Alrighty. There's one other person I'd like to join me. So hang on just a second, folks. There you go. There we go. We're back to where we want to go. Hello, everybody. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner. I'm sorry about the earliness of this live stream. This was just kind of an impromptu thing I decided to do. I really don't have any notes for tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and explain one thing to you people just as soon as Survival on a Budget Made Easy joins me. I am going to do one more little thing. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I know I'm kind of communicating with a whole bunch of people all at once, so hang in there. Okay. Okay, so we got one person so far. Where it looks like we're going to have two in just a moment. And like I was saying, I really don't have any notes for tonight as far as that's concerned. The reason, and I'll explain this just as soon as Survival on a Budget Made Easy joins me. There was another person that I had join me. It's Rod Travels, and he has joined my Looking for Lincoln Route 66 Facebook group. And I was kind of hoping he'd join us as well. I know some of you people already know all the stuff that I've been doing. Some of you do not yet. But what I've been facing, and I just wanted to give a couple minutes to Survival on a Budget Made Easy and Crazy Josh Cravey and even Boink the Clown. I'm just giving these people a little bit of time to come over here and say, hello, how are you doing? I see Survival on a Budget Made Easy is here. Thank you for coming by. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. I know that you're sitting going, where has Ted been? Oh, I got a story for you on that one. That has to go away. There we go. There we go. So, again, a little impromptu. I hope I'm not boring you guys. Probably what I'm going to do tonight, if nothing else, is I'm going to try to make notes. And then while I'm making the notes, I can just go ahead and let me try to tip that down just a little bit so you can get it. There. Can you see me now? That's wonderful. If you watch this later on, ignore the thumbnail. I was trying to adjust this so you guys can actually see me. Remember, folks, it's not so much my face that's important at this point. It's more important the things you're learning from me. That's what's important. And okay, so we got 2 people now. This is fantastic. I just want to give a couple of minutes to whoever wanted to join us. Okay. I know I'm being totally random here and whatever. Let me start with this. Where have I been? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I had to go visit a friend of mine. She was not doing so good, so I went ahead and visited a friend of mine, and we had a little conversation, and hopefully things will get better for her. And then a week ago, my dad became ill, and I went ahead and visited him, and he seems to be doing reasonably okay. And then this week, I had company coming in. And again, I didn't get a chance to sit there and do the kind of notes I really needed to do for a live stream like this. Now, here's the thing, okay? I've been working almost 40 hours a week for the last 3 weeks. This is because of what I call retail Christmas. And we get real busy at this time of year, and therefore I don't get a chance to sit there and do the kind of note-taking that I normally get to do. And that can lead to some problems, because if you're wanting to do a live stream like this, you've got to have notes, you've got to have something to present, and so therefore, there you go. And when you have that going on, in addition to the fact that I've been trying to advertise my YouTube channel to try to get more views, more ratings, more watch time, well, that takes time. See what I mean? So, you have all this going on at the same time, and after a while, you're just like, whew, okay. So anyway, what we're going to do tonight is this is going to be impromptu. Whatever I come up with, that's what I come up with, and that's that. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I had promised Survival on a Budget Made Easy. I had promised him a video on how to do a live stream through YouTube. Now, here's what I'm going to have you do. All right, let's just go over here. I'm going to cut this off right there. And la-ti-ta-ti-ta. Okay. Now, I don't know how this would work on your phone. I don't have my phone right here. If I did, I would bring it in here and whatever. But if you're on a laptop like I am right now, okay, if your laptop has a webcam, all right, now some people have a separate webcam. My webcam is built into my laptop, okay, which makes it all more easy for me. Hope everyone is well and love the live streams. Thank you very much, Survival on a Budget Made Easy. That was very good. Now, first of all, before I really get into anything deep, I wanted to tell Survival on a Budget Made Easy and Crazy Josh Craving, now that all of these family and friend visits are over with, I will get back into making notes and we'll do a proper live stream either next week or the week after. It just depends on my work schedule. Like I said, I'm working 38 hours a week, and between that and all of these things that have been coming up, I just haven't had the time to do the kind of live stream I need to do. So this has kind of been impromptu, and I do apologize for that, but we're taking it one step at a time. Okay? So bear with me on this, folks. Anyway, if you have a laptop with a webcam built in, then having a live stream is rather easy. But if you have to do it by your phone, that could be a little more difficult. And a little later on, I may go ahead and grab my smartphone, and we'll see what we can come up with in the line of doing a live stream from your smartphone. One of the biggest reasons why I do not do a live stream with my smartphone is because of the money it would take to do a live stream. You see, unless you're on that one side of downtown Decatur, you don't have good Wi-Fi hotspots. Now, around here, you just don't have good Wi-Fi hotspots. Now, they're working on this, and they're making it better, and that's fine. But that's why I don't videotape a lot of those parades live, because I don't have good Wi-Fi. The only Wi-Fi that would be available to me would be from TracFone itself. And the thing is, I'd have to pay a fortune through TracFone to do that. And I just don't have a fortune to do that. I mean, I could do it. But, I mean, that's probably at least a gig or two of information to send over a live stream. Well, those gigs cost $10 a pop. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not when I can record the parade and then do a little editing and then pop it right up on the air for everyone to see. Besides, you have to keep in mind that you have to have, if you're doing it by your smartphone, you got to have your smartphone hooked up to a battery pack, and that battery pack loses charge. There goes your live stream. Then there goes your parade. We ain't doing that. So that's not what we're going to do. Okay, I can do this with a Codec AC Share a lot easier, and I can load it up later, and that's fine. Now, one of these days, if I get a smartphone with a really good solid battery and I get a couple of 3 battery packs, we might try for that, but not right now. Anyway, if you have a laptop and you're wanting to do this, this kind of a live stream through YouTube, okay, what you do is you open up a tab in your web browser. Usually that'd be Google Chrome, although some people have Apple and they open up tabs with Apple, or they'll open up tabs with Firefox or whatever the heck it is. And what you'll do is you'll look on the upper right corner of your web browser. Okay, you look at the upper right corner of your web browser. Now, keep in mind that your laptop has to have either a webcam that is hooked up by USB, or a built-in webcam like mine has. Mine has a built-in webcam, so there you go. All right, now, if you look at the upper right corner of the screen, now I will say this. I don't think you could do this on your YouTube television. I don't think that's possible. But I guess if your YouTube television has a webcam built in, maybe it's possible. I don't know. That part I don't know. But if you have a laptop and the laptop has some kind of webcam either hooked up by USB or built into the actual laptop itself, go to the upper right corner of the screen and you're going to see this little symbol right here. It looks like a movie camera. Okay? Now, if you click on that movie camera, a drop-down menu will appear. And you'll have either upload video, go live, or create a post. Now, we all know what happens if you click the upload video. That's the part where you can actually upload a video that you've edited, so on and so forth. Boom. Okay? The go live is what you need to actually go live. The other one is to create a post. If you have the community tab on your channel, okay, say you have over 1,000 subscribers. If you have over 1,000 subscribers, you have a community tab. You can communicate with every single one of your subscribers and say, hey, I got something up there. I want to do a poll or something like that. You could do that. All right. But if you hit that second feature, which says go live, that will take you to the screen where you just, the first thing it'll do is it'll take a thumbnail. Okay. And you can put any thumbnail you want. And actually, you can edit your thumbnail and you can put something else up there if you like. All right. My thumbnail got a little messed up because I was trying to adjust my camera and it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to. But I'm not going to mess with it because, quite honestly, this is kind of an impromptu thing. I really wasn't planning this out. I just said, what the heck, I'll do it, and that's it. But anyway, first it'll take a photo of you so that you can have your thumbnail. And after that, you can just say, go live, and there you go. And that's all that has to be done. And that's all I do. Now, there is something else I will cover tonight. And what I'm going to cover next is Twitter. And the reason I cover this tonight, let's see if I can sign into Twitter over here. Oh, boy. By golly, I logged in. All right. All righty. Now, why am I going to talk about Twitter tonight? That is because a lot of you guys miss a lot of good stuff, all because you don't know how to use Twitter properly. And that becomes a big problem. Like, okay, you don't know how to use Twitter properly, so therefore you're missing a lot of stuff. Let me show you something about Twitter. Twitter was the first service that started using something called a hashtag. They actually have hashtag games, believe it or not. And this can make your channel pretty famous. I'm not kidding you. But anyway, what I'm going to have you do in line of following instructions here. Okay. If you have a Twitter account, and I know a lot of you probably don't, but if you do have a Twitter account, go over to Twitter. And on the right-hand corner, hold on. I'm going to draw this out for you. Like I said, this is going to be an impromptu thing because I really didn't have notes. I wanted to let Survival on a Budget Made Easy and Crazy Josh Cravey know I know about your entries into the video response wars, and I will make video responses to all your material probably next week. So don't think I've forgotten. I have not forgotten. It's just a matter, like I said, for the last 3 weeks, I've either seen a friend of mine, or I've had to deal with a sick relative, or I had company coming in. That's a lot in 3 weeks, in addition to the 38 hours I've been working. So there you go. But what you're going to see on the Twitter page, okay, I'm going to show you this. You're going to see an oval shaped whatever on the right hand corner of Twitter. Okay, it's a search box. Now, the reason why Twitter has hashtags is because you can easily look up certain things that you're trying to look up by using those hashtags. Thanks for your help. You're welcome. Survival on a Budget Made Easy. Okay. Now, you can actually look up things using the hashtag. Really, it's unbelievable you can. Now, let's say you wanted to do this. Okay. So what we're going to do, if you're on Twitter, if you're not, don't worry about it. But if you are actually on Twitter, in this oval search box, I want you to type in the hashtag looking for Lincoln. All right. Hit your enter button. Now, why the big deal? Well, now I'm going to explain it to you. The main reason why you don't find a lot of things on Twitter is because you're not looking properly on Twitter. That's why. What's going to happen when you activate the search? Hold on. Is you're going to see these words right here. Top, latest, people, photos, videos. Okay. Now then, you say, well, okay, why are all these words important? Because tweets are liked. Okay. Tweets are liked. Just like on Instagram, when you like all the photos, Facebook posts, same way, you like those. Tweets are liked. All right. So when you see the top post, that means that that particular photo, video, or whatever tweet that they've got up there, that has been liked more than anything else. So all you're seeing at this point is the most trending tweets. Well, sometimes the most trending tweets are not always necessarily the ones you're looking for. That's the ones they think you're looking for. Well, if the one you're looking for is the one they think you're looking for, that becomes a problem because that's all you'll ever see. So if you're on Twitter right now, click the latest, the word latest. Click the word latest. Now, when you do, you're going to see a completely different set of values than you did at the top. Okay, when you had the word top, you saw one set of values. You saw one set of tweets. When you hit latest, you see a completely different set of tweets. That's why, because they are arranged by order of the latest date. Okay, the ones on the top are arranged by how many likes they get. The ones on the latest are arranged by who tweeted most recently. So you might find what you're looking for better on latest than you would on top. Okay. Now, what about people? Nothing came up for that. Photos. Only tweets with photos appear in this particular list. So if your tweet has a photo in it, you'll see it here. And a couple of my tweets are in there too. And I think, okay, these are arranged. No, they're not either. Huh. They must be arranged by, no, that's 4 likes. I'm not exactly sure how these are arranged. Huh. Doesn't say. Anyway, if you go up back to the top and click videos, then only the tweets with videos in them are listed, okay? Do you see why that's all important? You see, what if you're looking for a tweet with a video inside of it and you don't care about any of the tweets? Well, you would go to the word that says videos. And believe it or not, when you use the looking for Lincoln hashtag and you look up videos, my videos pop up top of the line. But you would never see that if you click the word top. Only the ones that got the most amount of likes appear at the top. See what I mean? So it is very important that you utilize this. This is very good for advertising because people will actually look things up on Twitter. The only other thing I would actually say to you guys, if you're doing this on Twitter, is when you get there, scroll down. Look at all the tweets. Don't just look at the top ones. Look at all the tweets. Because if you don't, you might be missing something. You might be missing a lot. You have no idea how much you might be missing. Okay? So that's a little lesson on Twitter. If you guys will give me just a second, I'm going to go ahead and get my smartphone, and I'm going to see if there's a way to do a live stream with the smartphone. Give me just a second. I know there's probably a way to do it. Give me just a second. All right. Let's turn on Mr. Smartphone. La-ti-ti, la-ti-di. Think I'm going to start using hashtags. Thanks. Okay, you're welcome, crazy. Not crazy. Boy, I have lost my brains here. I lost my brains and, well, never mind. You don't want to hear that. Okay. All right. Now, anyway, let's go ahead. I'm sure there's some way to do a live stream from a smartphone, but like I said, if you don't have a lot of Wi-Fi hotspots, forget it. Okay, haha. Survival on a budget made easy. Thank you. Now let's go onto YouTube. Now from the smartphone. I don't know. I've never done a live stream from a smartphone. Never have. Yep, I was right. If you have your smartphone and you turn it on and you use the YouTube app, okay, if you're on the YouTube app, on the top you'll see a camera, and if you touch it, a menu will appear. It'll have video, live, and post. So I guess you can do a live stream from your YouTube app. And that's how you do that. So now I've answered your question on that too. So when you're using hashtags, and I recommend you doing that, the most important thing to remember is make it relevant to the video you're trying to post. And if you're using hashtags like that, let your audience know where you're using your hashtags, and more importantly, which hashtags to use to find your stuff. And also tell them how Twitter actually works, because a lot of these people are not finding the proper tweets or whatever because they don't know how Twitter works. They don't know how YouTube works. They don't know how Facebook works. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's just absolutely ridiculous because they don't know. And it's up to people like us to tell them that. See what I mean? So, anyway. So, hopefully you guys learned a lot about that. And you know what? I actually forgot where I left off on Math Doesn't Suck. So, I'm going to have to find out where I left off and then try to make another video about that. But I tell you what. How would you guys like for me to watch one of your videos, Survival on a Budget Made Easy? How would you like for me to watch one of your videos right now and give you my reaction to it right this very moment? How would you like for me to do that? I can do that for you. It'll be impromptu, and probably what I'll do is I'll make some notes, and probably I should make, let's see. La-ti-ti, la-ti-di, la-di-di-di-di. I'm wondering. I have so many passwords anymore. Nope. Are you kidding? Huh. Okay. That sucks. Would love it. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up another tab here. Let me see. Now, I'll have to put my headphones on because otherwise we're going to echo around here, and I don't want to echo around here. Let's see. Where is the... Aha, there's headphone jack, and I don't want to echo anything. So hang in there. Yes, it's a headphones. Okay. Let me go to Okay, the video that I am listening to right now is the one you made. Okay, the video I'm watching right now is the Q&A you did on Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. So I'm going to try to answer your questions live. This is the first time that we're going to do a kind of an impromptu video response wars live. This will be absolutely fun. I see you got Blue Dog sitting next to you. I guess the first question I could ask you since you're live right now, let's go ahead and the heck. Okay, go away. I guess the first question I could ask you right now is sorry about that. I saw you wearing a Harley Davidson t-shirt. I was kind of wondering if you have a Harley Davidson motorcycle, and if so, what make and model, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I have to admit, we used to have Zag nuts at my store, and I don't think we have them anymore. I'll have to look that up. I'd like to look up the history of Zag nuts at some point. You know what? We might just do that right here on this live stream. Look up the history of Zag nut and see what I can come up with. Maybe you guys can help me with some memory techniques to help people remember the story of Zag nut as we're doing this live stream tonight. How would you like to do that? Yeah, we'll do that a little bit later. But right now, I agree with you. Zag nuts are becoming harder and harder to find. I'm glad you enjoy them. It was interesting about the coconut. I never thought, because I've seen Zag nut before, but I've never really said, okay, what is a Zag nut? I just kind of stocked it on the shelf. I never thought about what was in it. But that's very interesting. Okay, let's go on. Wow. I never thought the gift shop. What a name for a store. That's like calling the gas station the gas station. or let's see, what else could we say? That's like saying the video store is the video store. Woo! That's a name. Okay, let's see. Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoy strawberries. I really do. I know a lot of my family members have enjoyed strawberries over the years, I'm just one of those rare exceptions that doesn't like strawberries. When I was a kid, I used to eat the shortcakes without the strawberries. So you guys can have all the strawberries you want. I want to eat the shortcakes. My favorite is blueberries. So I've never been much of a jelly person myself. I like peanut butter. I love it to death, but jelly just isn't my thing. But I know a lot of my family members love jelly, and I'm glad you enjoy jelly too. I'm glad for that. So a little something you learned about me. There you go. Let's go on. There we go. Wow, that hot sauce. Woo! Brother, I like your thinking on the name of the store. I thought the same thing. Blueberry jelly is good too. I'm sure it is. I'm just a weird picky eater. I'm not kidding you. I had a friend of mine, and they had an argument about which we would call it, grilled cheese. Thanks for doing it. You're very, very welcome. They had a little argument about whether it was grilled cheese or cheese toasty. Well, they don't know that I'm a kind of a gourmet type person. I really am. And when it comes to gourmet, if I'm going to have cheese on bread, which that's not something I do a lot of anymore. But when I was a kid, I had if I was going to do cheese on bread, I'd have a big slab of Angus beef and cheese, big slab of Colby with an Angus burger, and I'd have big Texas toast. Now you got to keep in mind, I wasn't that much of a kid. I was more like a young adult at the time I was doing this. So there you go. But that's what we did. And so there you go. But anyway, let me go ahead. Since we're at it anyway, there was one other post. Okay. Come on. Go down. No. Let me plug my headphones back in. If Crazy Josh Cravey is here, we're doing this. First of all, I want to thank everybody for participating in the video response wars. I bet you guys never thought that I'd actually do a live version of the video response wars, but we are going to do that tonight just to make everybody feel better. So let's do this one. I guess the first question I would have for Crazy Josh Cravey is I saw a little road. You had started the video on a little road. How long is the road, and what wildlife? I saw a lot of plant life around you. What kind of wildlife lives in that area? And more importantly, what kind of plant life is out there? Is like poison ivy, or do they have beautiful flowers? What? I'd love to know that. I really would. So as with Survival on a Budget Made Easy, you can leave the answers down here in the comments below, or if you're here live, you can tell me what you think. Either way, let's go through this. I'm going to go ahead and when I'm finished with this one, I'm going to go ahead and post links to both videos, the Q&A I just reviewed and this one here. And then we'll go ahead. That way everybody will know what I've been talking about. Okay. You showed some gates in your video. What type of metal are those gates made out of? And I also saw that they were painted. What color? I mean, what's the name of the color that they're? I mean, they kind of look grayish type thing, but I know that there are various shades of gray. What shade of gray were they made out of? They were painted type thing. Okay, let's go on here. Matter of fact, before we go anything further, I'm being a ditz tonight. This is kind of an impromptu thing. Stop that. Okay. Well, I am... Okay. Since I'm really getting kind of ahead of myself here, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to post the hyperlink to Survival on a Budget Made Easy's video that I just discussed. And I'm also going to put that in the description of this live stream. So here's the video that we just watched. And then I'm also going to put the hyperlink of Crazy Josh Cravy's video so you guys can follow along with that too. This is Crazy Josh Cravy's video. And now you can watch that as well. Okay, so let's go back to Crazy Josh Cravy's video and let's finish that one up. If you want, you can go over there and you can watch and we'll kind of go through this one together. I kind of wish I could have seen the interior of the pump house to see how the water was extracted from the ground. Is there like a... Woo woo, more plugs, thanks. You're very welcome, Survival on a Budget Made Easy. Now back to Crazy Josh Cravy's video. The pump house, I was kind of wondering how they get the water out of the ground and how it was purified, because groundwater, it's nice to have, but there's a lot of stuff that could come up and whatever. I'm sure there's some way they purify the water before it gets into your sink or whatever. So I kind of like to know how that actually works. Let me get rid of that there. I saw some fir trees in the background, and I was kind of wondering, are they like spruce or pine, or I was kind of wondering a little more specifically what kind of trees they actually were. Well, let's go on here. I'm going to guess and say that there's very little Wi-Fi capability in the woods. You said that people could get lost in it, which, yeah, I'd be taking at least a compass out there to make sure you don't get lost in the woods. But on top of that, I'm just sitting there going, oh, there's probably not some good Wi-Fi out there. So there you go. All right, let's go on. Okay, I saw the tree with the face. What kind of tree was it? Was it a oak tree, a pine tree? What kind of tree was it? I was kind of wondering on the bunk bed. Um, you had your living room couch underneath it. How did you? How is the bunk bed braced so that it doesn't fall on top of the couch? Because I'd hate for you to be on the bunk bed and somebody else being underneath the bunk bed on the couch, and all of a sudden the bunk bed collapses and then it hits the person sitting on the couch. That would be pretty bad. Here's my big question. You have that TV on the wall. Does it work? Can you plug anything into it? I'm Japanese. Well, I'm glad to hear from you. Tanoshimi 2009. I have never heard of you before, but I'm glad you're here. If I mispronounced your name, I apologize in advance. Glad you're here. I didn't even know you were here. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're right in the middle of reviewing a video that was submitted into the Video Response Wars. By the way, I wanted to once again congratulate both Crazy Josh Cravey and Survival on a Budget Made Easy for winning the Video Response Wars. It was a tie this week. Congratulations. But anyway, let's get back to this. I guess the next question I would have, I have actually read the book called The Time Machine. I've also watched the 1960s version of it and also the 21st century version of The Time Machine. So here's a question for you, Crazy Josh Cravey. If you had to take 3 books from the past into the future, which 3 books would you take? Now, the next thing that I noticed in this video is you were talking about your bathroom and you said, well, there's nothing big about your bathroom. Well, at one time, I actually watched a video about somebody talking about their bathroom. And you know what? I went through the whole thing, the whole video, and I asked them probably 24 questions about their bathroom. And they actually answered every single one of them in a video response back to me. That was hilarious. It was great. I'm glad they did it, but that was absolutely hilarious. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to take a look at your bathroom because you're showing it right now. And I'm going to see how many questions I can come up about your bathroom to prove that your bathroom is not ordinary. Okay, so get ready, because here it comes. We're going to have some fun. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to prove how interesting your bathroom actually is. Okay. I want to know the height from the floor to the ceiling of your bathroom. Okay. And I also want to know the denier of your shower curtain. Okay. And how many rings are on your shower curtain? How long is the rod of your shower curtain? Okay. Now I saw some round black thing on the left-hand side of your bathroom. What the heck was that? It was like a laundry hamper, or what the heck it was? All right, hang on. We're gonna make this a lot more interesting. We'll see how good you really are. It kind of looked like there was like a washer or a dryer in your bathroom too. I'd like to know a little bit more about that. What was the color of your towels, and what's the denier of your towels in your bathroom? Let's see, what else can I see? Now, what I saw on the right-hand side of your bathroom was this white cabinet thing. It almost looked like a washer or dryer thing, and then there was some black thing on top of it. What the heck was the black thing on top of it? And here's another question for you. I noticed that there was a light in your bathroom. What wattage of bulb do you use for your light in your bathroom? Oh, and how big is the closet which is next to your bathroom? I mean, how wide is it? How long is it? Bet you didn't think I'd come up with all that, did you? Uh-huh. I bet Survival on a Budget Made Easy could actually answer those questions. But we're going to see if Crazy Josh Cravey can answer those. Now, I saw the chair that you said your dogs eventually took over. Does it have a little thing on the side where if you lie it back, you can actually lie down in the chair? Or is it just one of those things that the chair just, what it is what it is? I'd like to know. How large is the screen on the green television? What type of wood is the what type of wood is the dining room table made out of? Okay, you said you had a pond in your backyard. Are there any fish in the pond? Or any other type of wildlife for that matter? Okay, let me ask this. You had your mom's old hockey gear. Did she play on a team? And if so, did she win any championships? Did her team win any championships? I guess that would be the better question is, did her team win any championships when she was on it? Okay, so now the TARDIS is showing up in the video. Okay, this ought to be interesting. Oh, gee. Okay. Okay. What the? Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Alrighty. I guess the only other question is, how long did it take you to make that TARDIS? Anyway, again, I say leave the answers down here in the comments below. And if you're watching me live, you can answer any of those questions or all of them. But that's it for a video response wars. Congratulations. All right. So let's see what we can dig up on Zagnut. But I do want to thank both Crazy Josh Cravey once again and Survival on a Budget Made Easy for participating in that and watching my reaction live. That's kind of cool. I mean, you know, I don't do that. I don't think I've ever done that in the history of this channel, but now for the first time, you have seen live a video response wars. So there you go. All right, now here's what we're going to do. We're going to look up Zagnut. Survival on a budget made easy. The time machine is awesome. I'm going to beat Josh at the video response war one day. I like the live Q&A better than the one prepaid than the pre-planned style. If you could do a picture-in-picture style, that would be great. I wish I knew how. If I ever figure that out, I'll be more than happy to do so. But that's an interesting idea, and I feel bad that I didn't give the links right away. That was terrible of me, and I'm sorry. But anyway, let's go ahead and look up Zagnet. I will give you the link for this. Let's see, history. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Now, I do trust oldtimecandy.com. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. This seems to be the history of the Zagnut. Now, the idea here is not to tell you guys the history, but to help you guys remember the history. Okay. So, the first thing I'm going to do, boy, let me think. I mean, there are some ways to go about remembering this. The company that actually made it, if you wanted to go the route of remembering Clark Kent from Superman and just picturing him eating a Zagnut, that'd be one way to do it. You could picture Clark Griswold from the vacation movies, imagining him driving down the road eating a Zagnut. That would be good. Let's see now. I mean, unless, of course, you actually knew the Clark bar. I mean, a lot of people don't even know there was a Clark bar, but if you knew the Clark bar, you could watch Mr. Clark if you knew his history. And I'm sure there was a guy named Clark. I don't know whether that was his last name or his first. I could go look that up, but I'm not going to do that right now. But anyway, either way you wanted to go about that, that's how you'd remember the best way I would think to do it, if you're going to try to remember this, is to picture as Clark Griswold zigging and zagging down the road trying to eat a Zagnut, because that's kind of a visualization type thing. The year 1930. Now, for those of you who have read the memory book by Harry Lorraine, you'll know what I'm doing. Let's see. And then, okay. If you know, okay, the year that this was invented was 1930. Now, if you know Harry Lorraine's memory techniques, I would picture a cow on top of a spinning top. You know how when we were kids they had those little spinning tops? Imagine a cow standing on top of it going moo all over the place, moo. And if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm see. Okay. Well, as far as remembering the nut, probably what you'd want to do is picture Clark Griswold driving down the road, zigging and zagging all over the place, trying to eat the Zagnut while the back seat is full of peanuts. And that's how you'd remember this one. So I'm kind of giving that one to you for free. Okay, Survival on a Budget Made Easy says, I was wondering, are you and Josh related? I've seen he was in one of your videos. No, we are not related. He actually came onto my channel. He had watched a couple of my videos, and he actually came on here and tried to participate in the video response wars, and I've had such a good time with him that it's just worked out ever since. So, no, he is not related to me, but He's been a barrel of fun to have in the last few years, and I'm glad he's here, and I'm glad he subscribed to me, and I'm glad I was able to help out his channel, and I'm glad he was able to help out mine. So there you go. But yeah. Anyway, so that's how you remember Zagnut. So my thought on this is, if you're picturing Clark Griswold, and I think that would be about the best way to remember that, driving down the road, zigging and zagging, and he's trying to eat a Zagnut bar inside of a car full of peanuts, and he sees this cow on the side of the road on top of a spinning top. And considering what the first vacation movie was, you can kind of get that idea. There you go. That would be the way I'd remember that. So, interesting way to remember an interesting story. They don't seem to have too much more on the story, which is unfortunate. Nothing fascinating. Huh. Well, let's see what else they got. Huh. Well, that's interesting. The same company that makes the Clark bar, well, that originally made the Clark bar and the Zagnut, also made Necco wafers, apparently. That's very interesting. So, and the article that says that is right here. If you ever want to read it, there you go. So, interesting story. Wow. Well, I turned a half-baked live stream into a video response wars whatever, and on top of that, little way to remember the Zagnut bar. So, I mean, it wasn't a lot of details like I've done in other memory videos, but there you go. Little candy fun for you. Yeah, you should take that to your friends and see how many of them were like, wow, you know when the Zagnut was invented, and you know what company actually invented things. Now, by the way, Zagnut is produced by Hershey's now and distributed by Hershey's, but originally it was done by the Clark Company. So, So you say, well, okay, Mr. Clark, we got some information on him now. His first name was David. Boy, how are you going to remember that? Well, okay. There was a band once a long time ago. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was called the Dave Clark 5. Let's just imagine, I would imagine, let me take a look here. Well, by gollies, there was an actual guy named Dave Clark playing in the band called the Dave Clark Five. I would imagine he was probably the leader of the band. I'm not sure yet. Oh, no. Okay. Huh. Okay, well, Dave Clark apparently was a guy who put a band together called the Dave Clark Five. I guess he was one of the founding members. So, if you can imagine the founding member of the Dave Clark Five taking the place of Clark Griswold as he's zigging and zagging down the road, and he sees the cow with the spinning top, which will give you the idea of the year. There you go. That's a way to remember that. If you want to, you can say, okay, well, not only was he eating Zagnets, but he was also eating the what was that I said a minute ago? It wasn't Smarties. It was Necco wafers. Necco wafers. So you can imagine he's eating a Zagnut and Necco wafers at the same time. Why anybody would want to do that, I don't know, but you can picture that in your head, and there you go. Now you got a story. And now you have a way to remember it. Okay. Well, you talk about an interesting live stream tonight. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Later on tonight, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at Danica McKellar's Math Doesn't Suck book, and I'm going to see what I can do about possibly getting that, getting a next part on that one. Soon, I'm going to get out It's a Wonderful Life and also, the Home Alone movies. I'm going to get the first two out, and I'm going to review them, and I'm going to ask a lot of questions about them, et cetera, et cetera. Woo! So for somebody who had absolutely no idea what I was going to do on this live stream, there you go. Woo! So I am very glad Survival on a Budget Made Easy that you actually submitted that response into the video response wars. I like the freestyle. Well, I was glad to have done this because there are times when I just have no idea what I'm going to put up on here. And I'm sitting going, okay, what am I going to do? And now I have. The main thing is that I was glad you put up the video that you did because thanks to you mentioning the Zagnut, I was able to do a kind of an impromptu memory video. You should try being less structured. On some occasions, that'd be great. Sometimes what I want to do is I want to get people to augment their brains. I mean, this is primarily a learning channel. That's what we're wanting to do with this. There's a certain level of I want structure to this so that they can learn all this stuff. But then on other times, it should be kind of a balance between structure for the real students I have and then less structure for everybody else. And I agree that it has to almost be a balance because you don't want a chaotic classroom. Well, send some links for what's a PIP video? I've never heard of that. Never heard of a PIP video. That's interesting. But what, like I said, what I want to do is I want to have structure for the ones who really need the structure and then less structure for those who aren't, desperate for education. That's important to me. So, let me see what's been going on Facebook. Nothing. Anyway, there was a guy. His name was his I guess his Facebook handle is Rod Travels, and he did join my Facebook, and he's been looking into my Route 66 stuff. I am hoping he'll promote all of my Route 66 material and so on and so forth. So, maybe one of these days he'll join me for a live stream, and I can actually tell him about some of the things that I went through. I know some of you people actually know what happened when I went to not only to Pontiac, Illinois this past spring, but also to picture-in-picture videos. Ah, I see. Yep. But also my trip to Dwight, and also all the way up to Joliet. Boy, those were some trips. Those were really some trips. So, but I'm kind of hoping that he'll participate in all of this, and maybe I can tell him some of my adventures and so on and so forth. Anyway, at this point in the game, I really, like I said, I was going to just go a little like half an hour short. Hey, I'm here, and I'm sorry I haven't done a live stream in a long time, so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden I got into this, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So this kind of taken me by surprise. I really wasn't expecting to do all this tonight, but it was kind of interesting to do this. One of the things I'm going to do, how many people know what a Clydesdale horse looks like? How many of you people, now I'm just asking these questions. How many of you people know what a can of sterno looks like? And how many of you people know what a sailing mast looks like? Now, why is this important? Because if you can actually visualize, and I'm going to try to get a model of all three. If you can visualize a Clydesdale horse with a can of sterno and a sailing mast on top, then you can actually visualize the sternocleidomastoid muscle. That's a way to remember the sternocleidomastoid muscle. And this visualization is very important, because if you're going to learn the way that I'm trying to teach on this YouTube channel, you need to learn how to do stuff like that. You really do. So I can tell you what, it comes in handy if you're trying to memorize a shopping list, or if you're trying to memorize a lot of facts. Let me tell you something. I don't want people cramming for college exams. I'm sick of seeing people cramming for college exams. It's ridiculous. There you go. So anyway, well, I have to say that I'm going to be working for the next 5 days. Not looking forward to it, but I'm going to be working for the next 5 days. And so therefore, I should be able to prepare some notes. I don't know just how many I'm going to be able to prepare, but I will get back to Danica McKellar's book, Math Doesn't Suck. I'm going to try to do more memory videos, so on and so forth. And we're just going to try to wing it from there. I'm going to try to do some structure in my next live stream, and then some non-structure as well, to kind of keep it in balance. Because, like I said, there are students that really need to know some of the things I'm doing. But I'm glad I was able to review all this stuff. And so I appreciate you guys stopping by, watching me, and being so patient with me as I'm going through retail Christmas right now. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just more of a very busy thing. And when I'm this busy, I just don't get a chance to do this kind of stuff that I'm doing tonight. And I've been telling my people, hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something impromptu. I'll just tell you guys what I'm doing, and we'll just follow it from there. And hopefully making notes, and then therefore making more videos. Well, I do want to thank you guys very much for watching me tonight. I'm going to do an update on this computer just as soon as this all ends. And I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching this. I didn't expect to do as much as I did. Great video. Thanks for all the info. Do not over-prepare. Have a good night, my brother from another mother. Thank you very much. Survival on a Budget Made Easy. And I will tell you guys more. And like I said, we're going to keep it balanced. Some impromptu and some not impromptu, because we do have some students out there that really need structure. And sometime this winter, I'm going to try to write a memory workbook that you guys will have, and I'll try to publish that. I may publish some chapters on Patreon, and then after that, I'll put the whole book up on Amazon and let you guys read that as well. So everything's coming up. Stay tuned for it. I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.